Hypocrisy. Peaceful is conditional. It always has been. Peaceful is acceptable when it's quiet enough to be ignored. When it asks politely, waits its turn, files the proper paperwork for dignity. But the moment peace gets loud, the moment it stops asking and starts demanding, now it's a problem. Protest is patriotic until it questions power, until it interrupts comfort, until it refuses to perform gratitude for crumbs dressed up as progress. Then suddenly it's disruptive, dangerous, unacceptable. They love history when it's already been sanitized. They celebrate movements that once made them uncomfortable. Now repackaged as courage, they pretend they would have supported. But present-day resistance, that makes them nervous because it requires a choice right now. And neutrality has always been their favorite hiding place. They say, follow the law, but laws have never been immune to corruption. Laws have justified chains. Laws have protected theft. Laws have criminalized existence. So when they say law and order, what they often mean is order that protects them. They call it justice, but justice seems to have a preference. It recognizes certain faces as innocent before proven guilty, and others as guilty before even speaking. They break the rules with confidence, then enforce them with aggression. They bend systems until they serve them, then act surprised when others question the structure. They preach respect with mouths full of contradiction, demanding tone over truth, politeness over progress, comfort over correction. You could have said it nicer, as if centuries of harm respond to soft language, as if oppression has ever been dismantled by whispering. They don't want justice, they want quiet. They don't want solutions, they want stillness that looks like peace, but feels like suffocation to the ones living in it. Morality becomes a costume, worn when convenient, removed when it interferes. Principles get rented by the hour, adjusted depending on audience, context, or personal benefit. They'll condemn violence in one breath and excuse it in the next when it wears the right uniform. They'll say all lives matter, but only show urgency when certain lives are threatened. Because equality sounds good in theory, but in practice, it disrupts hierarchy. And hierarchy is something they protect like inheritance. They'll call out wrongdoing, but only when it's safe. Only when it doesn't cost them anything. Because accountability is easy when it's directed at someone else. But when the mirror turns, suddenly there are explanations, excuses, context, grace. Grace they never extended to anyone outside their circle of comfort. And when the damage becomes visible, when the contradictions can't be hidden anymore, when reality starts breaking through the narrative, they blame tone. You're being divisive, as if division was created by the person naming the problem, and not the system that built the gap. They say, bring people together, but unity without justice is just silence with better branding. You can't heal what you refuse to acknowledge. You can't fix what you keep defending. And hypocrisy, it thrives in that exact space. It survives because people protect it, excuse it, normalize it, because confronting it would require discomfort. And discomfort is something they've spent generations avoiding. So instead, they redefine truth, repackage narratives, shift blame, control perception, and hope no one notices. But people are noticing more and more every day, because hypocrisy leaves fingerprints in policies, in conversations, in the way empathy is distributed unevenly, in who gets heard and who gets silenced. It shows up in what's forgiven and what's punished. It reveals itself in the gap between what is said and what is done. And that gap is where trust goes to die. Hypocrisy doesn't collapse on its own. It doesn't correct itself. It doesn't disappear just because it's exposed. It survives because silence keeps forgiving it, because comfort keeps protecting it, because fear keeps feeding it. But truth is persistent. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't require approval. It just needs someone willing to say it out loud, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient, even when it disrupts the illusion. Because illusions have always depended on people pretending not to see. And once you see it, once you recognize the pattern, the contradiction, the performance, you can't unsee it. And that's when hypocrisy starts to lose its power.